back, ladies and gentlemen. You are now listening to the smooth voice of Josh, back from my eternal mental imprisonment that was the Harry Potter series. I made it back, boys. It's been a long, arduous journey. I've realized that Ron Weasley, who cares, I don't care about his name, is just as stupid as I remember. Hermione is alright, I guess. She's probably the hero of that. Who fucking cares? Alright, welcome back, boys. We have a show for you today. We're going to be talking about some questions and stuff. Some really stupid behind choices that characters have made. Stupid, important, whatever, arguably. I'm here with my co-host. I guess technically I'm the co-host. I'm joining the host of this podcast.
Well, you did great. I gotta say you did good. Hey everybody, it's Zach back at it again. So today, we got a really interesting topic, but beforehand, that was not bad. I like what you did.
I mean, to be fair, I should have never started that at all. I don't have a radio voice or personality.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that shouldn't be on the radio.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. There's always that one voice where it's like, how in the world did you get this job? And it goes off like that. But
yeah.
But I mean, did you enjoy it? Did you at least enjoy the Harry Potter movies again?
No.
You really just despised it even more so.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, now that you're back, I think we've got some listeners that are waiting for that answer. So, Josh, tell us, what is your Hogwarts house?
So, arguably, I didn't do my homework.
And?
I forgot.
You forgot? Come on. You waited this whole time? You finally get back?
All right. I think it'll be more exciting if we just go back to the thing, because
well, this is important.
I did it a long... You know
this
what?
Is super
this is
important.
not important.
This is high priority.
If you guys have spent your life waiting for you to figure out what Hogwarts house you belong to, you have forgot some very important, beautiful things, like being outside, eating pizza with friends.
Oh, hey, I don't fall in that category. I know I don't fall in that category because I don't give a shit, one way or another. Pardon me for saying so, but but
I think secretly everyone. No, if you're a Potterhead, you enjoy those movies, I'm sure everyone revels in their house. My wife does. She loves Harry Potter. She loves what house she's in.
I just find it interesting though when you find out like what your fictional place is in that universe. It kind of gives you that slight connection to it, even if you don't really care about it. It kind of, at least it involves you in some way. Do you disagree? I take it from your long sigh. Shut up.
Little fact here, a factoid.
And that is?
I did this before, actually.
And you forgot about it.
I did it because my wife told me to do this a long time ago. Right after we watched the movies.
By the way, it's not impossible for Josh to forget something. It's not impossible, and I hope everyone just catches on to that as we go along.
My life is ranked by priority, and since I don't like Harry Potter, it wasn't very high.
It should be ranked right up there, number one. Like above family, friends, and loved ones. Just right there. All you gotta eat, sleep, and drink the Potter world, the wizarding world. And if you don't agree with me with it, then you're probably right. I don't hold it as a priority. What now?
What?
You having some technical difficulties over there?
Oh, there it is. I'm stupid.
See, you didn't do it right, and this is.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. As you can tell, I'm delaying because I'm putting in my email and stuff.
He's hardcore delaying. I'm giving him the chance to look it up because I'm not going to let him go another day. He already missed an episode last week. By the way, we apologize for any missing episodes. You know, with personal stuff that comes up, sometimes the episodes can get a little bit hard to schedule and hard to record. So hopefully this one and the next one will make up for it. But I'm also stalling for him as well. So did you figure it out?
It's making me sign it. Why did you what?
You're too old to go to Hogwarts.
I know, yeah. Freaking.
Well, Josh brings this up. I'm going to go right in and say today's episode is going to be about some of our favorite characters from comics, video games, TV shows, movies, etc. Characters who had to make the decisions in their respected medias that we're looking at. Were they morally justified? Were they good enough for them to make? Was it questionable at best, or was there a better way they could have figured it out? And we'll discuss some of these things today. But first, I think he's ready. We got it, guys. He's got it up. What does it say?
It's funny, you asked me if I wanted to save this password.
Yeah.
And I straight up said no. Because I'm never coming back to this. Apparently,
Yes.
I'm a Ravenclaw?
Oh, look at that. I really expect you to be a Slytherin. I really expect you to be some kind of, I actually hate Hogwarts. I don't like it. I never did like this.
Yeah, this is obviously, this website has not taken into account my jadedness. And if I remember correctly, all of the stupid questions did not actually apply to me, I feel like. I feel like they didn't let me...
What?
I feel like they were just so vague.
They were,
would you do this or would you do that? And it's like, no, I'd probably shoot them.
So it definitely falls under the category of one of those personality quizzes where it's every question is pretty vague. You're trying to figure out your favorite character from this show, but it's they want to know what your favorite color is. It's what does my favorite color have to do with what character I was going to be? Why aren't these questions more life or death decisions?
Yeah, guys, I never did my Patronus.
See, I got my Patronus. You know what it was? It was some weird 3-lettered animal that has really long horns. It's not an antelope. It's something else. But I know it's part of that deer deer antelope family where it's very skinny and long legs. I don't know what it is. But I looked at it and I was like, I'm not thrilled by this, but I guess that's better than nothing. So
I guess I'm doing these questions here for my Patronus.
And what do you think of the questions so far?
It's just, I don't know. They're just...
What'd you get? Please tell me you got it. What'd you get?
I'm a Rottweiler, boys.
Man, you got a Rottweiler? I get a freaking animal from the savannah, and this, and you get a Rottweiler.
I'm a Rottweiler, boys!
Good God.
Alright, so now that I never have to acknowledge this ever again, goodbye.
So are you sure to want to save it and keep it for prosperity reasons?
No.
Okay, then. Let's go ahead and get into our headlines. This is Fragments. And in today's headlines, we've got...
Area 51, boy!
You were waiting to say it, weren't you?
Yeah! Let's go fuck up some aliens! Let's go break into the government!
Time to cut some alien cheeks!
No.
It's part of it. You gotta be part of the whole thing.
No, I'm not.
You don't want to clap alien cheeks?
No.
Everybody wants to clap alien cheeks.
I do not wish to have sexual relations with an organism that doesn't even have the same periodic table as us.
You know Keanu's gonna be there, though.
Yeah, he's gonna go John Wickham.
Right? And so is... who's the other guy? There's several other people. There's a lot of... I know they were fake. Most of the pictures were fake.
Yeah,
but it's funny to know that they involve them.
Who was it? Chuck Norris?
Chuck Norris, Stone Cold Steve Austin, basically all the Avengers.
Robert Downey Jr. and all of the Avengers without their superpowers because they don't have any for real.
Right. But everyone wants the fanboy.
All they have is star power.
Star power. That's the only power you need. The power of Hollywood.
The power of Hollywood. Yeah, so I guess they're going to go storm. We're all going to go storm Area 51. I'm sorry, government, even though me and you don't really get along. I don't want to be raped by aliens, so I actually approve of Area 51.
See, I'm gonna go.
Are we really gonna go?
I'm serious. I'm gonna airdrop in. I'm not gonna Naruto run. That's stupid and suicide.
No, I think I'm gonna Naruto run.
You're gonna go that route?
Yeah, they can't catch me.
That's fair. I just feel like if you go in from the air, it makes it distracts from one side.
It's an Air Force base. They're gonna shoot you.
But that's why we have the Kyles up front. They're gonna punch through the walls.
Oh my god. They're like Bane from Batman, except their venom is nothing but monster energy.
It's monster. And then to really fight the bosses that are inside, the juggernauts are probably in Area 51. We got Karen backing us up, and she's not looking for the manager. I swear this meme has like gone above and beyond what it needs to be.
Keanu Reeves is just gonna start telling everybody that they're breathtaking and they're gonna be emotionally like renewed, and they're just gonna give us access to Area 51.
And Guy Fieri's gonna cook for everyone.
Yeah, Guy Fieri! I don't know why people trash you, because I love you, Guy Fieri. And if internet, you listen to this and you think I'm trash because I like Guy Fieri, then you're trash.
It's like he's like a meme like Smash Mouth. Like there was nothing wrong with Smash Mouth, and everyone made a meme of him because of Shrek, and that's what they get associated with.
Yeah, well,
which is worse things to get associated with, but
yeah, like meth. But
if you want to go to that extreme, sure, why not?
There's also big news for those of you boys who like Quentin Tarantino movies, because he's the best. Literally one of the best directors ever. Probably the best in my book.
Can't argue with
Once
that.
Upon a Time in Hollywood just dropped this Friday, and so by the time you guys hear this, it would have already have passed. But when you do hear this and you haven't seen the movie, you've already failed. So you need to go correct your life and go watch the movie, because it's supposed to be amazing, and I'm going tomorrow. And so
I'm gonna say, but Josh, you haven't seen the movie, so you're failing at your
well then. We were supposed to go see the movie today.
There were scheduling issues.
There were extenuating circumstances.
I was sleeping in, but that's beside the point.
Oh right, yeah, you little cokehead.
Hey, you know what? Stuff gets tiring. The world is tiring.
Yeah, this is fair.
But but other than that, with Area 51 gonna hopefully die out soon, because I think the memes are starting to slow down now.
Yeah.
On all accounts. But they don't. A shelf life for a meme nowadays doesn't last very long, right, my brother? He will show us the way.
That makes me so sad.
I
feel like that meme should have lasted longer.
It should have, but now when you say people think you're trash because you're like, oh, that's dead meme alert, and it's like, no, just have fun with it.
Well, what kind of cancer does it take for you to just like start policing what people think is funny? Because I mean, like, people still look back at Saturday Night Live and they think that the cowbell
it's still funny.
Skit is funny, yeah, and it is. But God forbid, I think a meme is still funny. Dead meme. No, you're a deadbeat. Shut up.
Seriously,
like if you're gonna call me out over a meme,
what kind of person?
Shut up.
What kind of person just criticizes other people online? I know they're keyboard warriors, but why do you think you have the justification to police something like that?
Because they have nothing else to do but sit there and like masturbate to pictures of anime characters. Like, that's all they're doing.
Well, there goes one demographic right there.
Look, if you like to masturbate to anime characters, it's fine. But, like, it's one of those things where, like, if you spend your entire life exclusively doing that, it's a very, like, high chance that you're probably a keyboard warrior.
That's... I can't argue. I was trying to think of a point to argue with you on that, and I really can't. There's nothing that comes up.
I mean, what do you masturbate to? Your phone or your tablet or your computer screen?
I really thought you were asking a very specific question just now.
We all know what you specifically use, but I am not at liberty to disclose that on this podcast. But there is a specific piece of technology in this room that I will no longer touch.
It's not in this room. Don't even. There's nothing in this room. It's a lovely room. It's one. You know what? We're just gonna move on to the other topic we have at hand. Like the new Watchmen series that's coming out on HBO.
Oh, yes, it looks so good. I'm a big Watchmen fan.
And you are.
There's so much controversy surrounding it. I kind of hate DC, because they will never like stop publishing it, so that Alan Moore can never get the rights to it.
No. By the way, Alan Moore, the writer of the comic series, as you very well know, Josh, that
Yes.
he is constantly fighting with Hollywood over just a constant, like, stop, glamming up my Watchmen. Like, I wrote the thing the first time, leave it alone. And it's just like, no, we're going to keep doing it. Well, if you didn't, by the way, I don't know if you knew this until, yesterday when I told you, but the new creator for the HBO series, Damon, is it Lindelof? Am I saying that right? Lindelof.
Yeah.
Well, either way, Damon, you can look up his last name, you can try and pronounce it yourself, but with Damon, when he talked to Alan Moore, he told him, like, hey, I'm going to be doing this, and Alan Moore was just like, when he's talking to him, it's always like, F you, I'm going to do it my way, and, screw the rest of you guys. And to be fair, it is he wrote it, and it's his thing, it's his baby, and that's fine, and I'm cool with that, and I respect that. But Damon went ahead, when he was creating the Watchmen series for HBO, he said, I channeled my inner Alan Moore spirit and straight up told him, like, I'm going to do it anyway, so F you.
Yeah, so, there's this, for those of you who don't know, there's this constant controversy with Watchmen, and not just Watchmen, but like Zach said, freaking Alan Moore and his properties and his works of fiction being produced as a movie, because I think it happened with the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Really?
Yeah. So I think if I'm correct, that, like, obviously that's his. I don't know who published it, but that got made into a movie with Sean Connery, and it just was fanfare, like not fanfare to the people who read the book, but it's just fanfare to just those characters, I guess. And Hollywood really took it and just corrupted his work, and it didn't mean as much as the original one. It wasn't as interesting. It didn't go deeper. It didn't go farther. And it was just a really, like, in comparison to the actual book, it's really lacking. And so you kind of just pissed all over his work, and he hated that. And so ever since that point, he's like, I never want to see any of my books adapted into a movie. And if it ever does, I'm just going to take my name off it. Which is sad, because if you read the original V for Vendetta, that book is drawn intentionally very cinematically. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The story's great. And so we have V for Vendetta, obviously, that the Wachowski brothers had directed. And that's great, too, in its own respect. But Alan Moore won't claim it. He won't claim it at all, because a lot of people really do take liberties with it, and that's just the nature of Hollywood. I mean, it's like that with so much. I mean,
right.
In the MCU, Tony Stark created Ultron. No, in the books, Hank Pym did, and Hank Pym has a history of being mentally unstable, which is what gives life to that character in the comics, because Ultron picks up the brain, like, Ultron is made from the brain waves of Hank Pym, and that instability is why Ultron is, like, so dangerous, because he's literally like an adamantium android with the personality traits of Hank Pym, completely unchained, and trying to recreate the world in his mechanical dream or whatever. And so, like, when you turn Ultron in the MCU into nothing more than, like, an Infinity Stone plus some bullshit that Tony Stark did,
right,
you've really robbed the weight of that character. I mean, that movie was good, I guess,
but it could have been better.
It could have been amazing. Like, it could have literally have been amazing to get into, like, a deep like time travel or like epic with dealing with the repercussions of Ultron coming in the scene, And at that point they hadn't introduced Hank Pym, so this is why they went with Tony Stark in that.
He's a more familiar face, and
yeah, at that point, and so, but I just feel like there should have been more. And we're gonna talk about that choice anyway, later on. But I mean, Hollywood tends to just put its fingers in stuff and just muddle it up, and I feel like and I respect Alan Moore for not wanting to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
But there are also things where I'm like, Damon Lindelof specifically said that he's going to take the book, as gospel, if you will. Like that's literally like his Bible for the beginning of this universe that he's writing for HBO, and like just kind of, what happened afterward, and wherever. And so, because I don't know where it takes place. I think it's like Utah. It's in the middle of nowhere. Or is it Oklahoma? I think it's Oklahoma. But
it's one of those Midwestern countries. Or countries, sorry, states.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Good job. Yeah. But no, yeah, and so like I feel him. But I have a lot of respect for Damon Lindelof. I mean, because
it's like a fan. I kind of see where you're getting at, though. It's like, as a fan of the series, you're happy to see something new and refreshing come your way.
Yes.
But you also respect the creator and his decision to, like, hey, Hollywood, don't touch my stuff.
Yeah, or if you do it right.
Right.
And then, like, at this point, they've done him wrong so many times, he doesn't want to chance it.
That's understandable.
But yeah, so, I mean, boldly, Damon Lindelof really just...
He roll with it. He's like, if he's gonna say this, then I'm gonna stand up to the challenge and face off with him. Which, granted, you're gonna have you just based that's a very bold choice to make. And speaking of bold choices, I think it's time to get into our topic. Don't you think?
Yee.
Well, that's great. Thank you for that very millennial answer.
You're welcome. I'm a product of my generation.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
I'm a very bitter product of my generation.
You're a bitter pill. So we comprised a list of characters who had to make tough decisions in the show. We even have a couple directors and creators and writers that we don't actually have names for, but you know them as well as we know them, even if we don't have a name for them, that have made questionable decisions for the way the show or movie went. And I think you should go ahead and start off with your first guy.
Tony Stark should stop. Well, he's dead now. Spoiler alert. But like, Tony Stark should probably stop making decisions. Period.
His decisions have not been that bad.
So him becoming Iron Man in the first movie, good decision.
Yes.
Him becoming alcoholic in the second movie, natural decision when he finds out you're dying.
And see, people argue saying he's actually on a list right now saying that terrible decisions that Tony Stark has made, and it's like partying in a drunken stupor when you find out that you're dying. And I'm like, I don't agree with that being a bad decision. I think you're dying and you don't have a solution yet, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. So like. And then the third movie, this is where bad decisions start happening. Giving your address on public television so that a terrorist group can come blow your house up with your fiance at home. I mean, his line is fantastic. I love his good old-fashioned revenge line in that movie.
Sure.
But that was a misstep. That was pretty retarded. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, no.
Let's get an Infinity Stone and let's make a giant killing machine robot with my intelligence and my arrogance.
Yeah, no, that probably wasn't that good. But you gotta share the credit though. It was him and Banner that made Ultron in the movie.
Yeah, but whose brain patterns was it based off of?
It was based on his, but Banner had just as much help with it as Tony did.
They're both stupid.
They are, but that's you can't just put it on Tony.
No, I'm putting it on Tony. What else?
Mature of you.
Civil War, a lot of those decisions.
Okay, we disagree on a lot of things when it comes to Civil War, and I'm going to go ahead and state my claim now, because I know you're going to go into detail a little bit more, but I'm sorry. If you blew up a city a city block, if people got injured, killed, or someone died in any way, you need to be held responsible for that. You need to be held accountable for that.
Right, and that's not what I disagree with. I disagree with his whiny little...
What?
He killed my mom. Bro, he wasn't under...
Oh, you're talking about when he...
He wasn't, like... Yeah, that's an entirely emotional decision. You're one of the smartest men on Earth. You're Iron Man.
Yes.
You literally, in the Avengers, learned... nuclear something. I don't remember the line, but he literally learned...
Nuclear thermodynamics, I believe.
Yes. In, like, a couple hours.
Yeah.
And you don't have the tact to use your freaking brain and think operantly and
it showed at the beginning of the movie though that he was very close with his mother, and he always kind of hoped for a relationship with his father.
She's dead.
I know they're both dead, but the point is that he could. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to see it either because you were never given the chance.
He didn't know. So
he wasn't given the chance.
The Winter Soldier didn't know what he was doing.
Doesn't matter. The fact is, if you saw someone kill your parents, do you really care what the influence?
If I became friends with him over the course of the whole ordeal, yeah.
But you didn't become friends with them. You're talking from a Captain America point of view. That wasn't Captain America's parents.
No, they all became friends.
They all became friends, but except for Bucky.
No, Bucky became friends.
He became well, arguably.
They were on the same team in the end.
In the end, when the devastation of time in the world itself was coming to an end, yes, of course they would be on the same side.
No, I'm talking about they were friends in the end of that movie. They were working together to investigate that.
Yes.
You know, that's one thing I didn't like about that movie.
What?
They were building up this hype with this whole...
Oh, you're talking about but before he found out when they were working together.
Yeah.
Because he was even Tony was giving him like him and Cap both some leeway. He's like, okay, I feel like
because he was thinking clearly. He's like, all right, maybe they're right because I'm being a little bit of a bitch, and I'm not thinking.
Okay,
blah, blah.
And that's fine.
And so he's making some what's the word? Objective decision making.
Okay.
Yeah, and so then.
But then you see and I know it's the bad guy showing you this, but you have the bad guy show you in real time. Yes, you have the
bad guy show you. Like, that's when you know you're being played like a fiddle. Like, the devil shows you some information that is going to, like...
That was truthful.
It doesn't matter. It's like the devil is showing you information. Right? Like, yeah. I mean, hypothetically, because he wasn't the devil. But we're talking about, like, the enemy who has been playing you the entire movie is literally showing you some personal stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You have to have thought, like, oh, wait. Baron Zemo is showing me this stuff.
But it wasn't false,
Maybe... Though. Yeah, but it's for a play. It's obvious that it's like you're being played. He's doing it for a ploy.
Yes, but what are you supposed to do when you know that?
Use your brain. Oh, frick! The enemy is showing, like, he showed me this stuff. I'm upset. This is probably a ploy.
The thing is, as a young child, he never had the chance to say goodbye or get to know his dad a little bit more as he grew up.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it may sound like a trivial like Batman scenario, like he got killed at a young age, and I now found what was the guy's name? The guy who killed his parents?
Joe Chill.
Joe Chill. And what did Batman do when he found Joe Chill? He let him go, right?
Yeah.
Or took him to jail or something?
Well, it depends, because there's a lot of
different incarnations of that scene, but
yeah, I don't know which one's canon. I know at one point there was one where Batman tormented him for a while and like left a gun on his
to let him do it himself. But at the same time, though, this is the comparison that I'm making, and I know that's objective to different areas of DC of what incarnation of Batman you're talking about. But at the same time, though, I'm going on a human level. I don't think with Tony he should be held to that higher standard as like, oh, he's Iron Man, so he shouldn't get mad at someone for like. If I was him, I'm speaking legitimately. If I was him, I was sitting in a suit of armor and I saw this dude. I don't care if he's under the influence of brainwashing. If I see him bash my mother's brains in on the dashboard and kill my father almost the same way, I'd be pissed. I'd be beyond pissed. I would come for the Baron next, but I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna break your legs, and that's it. End of story.
Next point.
Next point.
So, maybe I was thinking about this the other day. Well, Batman makes a lot of Robins.
He does make a lot of Robins.
And that's probably really terrible because he's literally endangering children.
I've got another orphan child.
Yeah. What a great opportunity to turn them into a fight, like a crime fighting.
Because they just like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good decision, Batman. I wouldn't take underage boys. And most of them have been underage boys.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
the only two.
No, none of them have been. None of them have been of age.
None of them have been of age. That's for sure. But like, oh good lord, what's her name? Who plays the Oracle after the Joker shoots her in the back?
Oh,
Barbara.
Barbara, yeah.
Yeah, like Barbara Gordon was Batgirl.
Yeah, and she did it on her own volition.
Exactly, which is but I feel like she's still young in that sense. But then again, Batgirl did rape Batman in one comic, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a whole story behind it because I don't know that story specifically, but I do remember seeing that part, and it was kind of, oh, okay, well that's a thing now.
Whoops.
But
yeah, I think that's a terrible character choice.
Were they all like Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, and I'm just talking about the main three Robins?
Yeah, so
Jason Todd.
Yeah, so they're all orphans. Dick Grayson's parents were killed during the Trapeze Act.
Right.
Jason Todd was an orphan because his mom was a drug addict and his dad bailed.
Bummer.
And
I'm not trying to make light of that bummer.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's really sad.
Yeah. Tim Drake actually was not a full-on orphan. He is very special, and that's why I like Tim Drake a lot. Actually, he's very special because he discovered that Batman was Batman. Like he
deduced it.
He deduced it, yeah. By I guess
Do you think that's why they brought him in, because he's like, your deductive skills?
Because Batman didn't want another Robin.
Oh, for him, he didn't want one.
He didn't want. So yeah, so this is I guess this is technically an exception to my thing or my point, but he didn't want a Robin, and after Jason Todd died, and Tim Drake just figured it out that Bruce Wayne was Batman.
Yeah.
And I basically kind of strong-armed him into letting him take on the next Robin role. And actually, if you think about it, there's like a ranking that, like, I think Damian Wayne, which is the fourth Robin now, is like, I think he's the most lethal Robin.
He is the most lethal Robin. Yeah. He was literally trained by assassins.
Yeah, I don't like him. He's annoyable trash.
I was gonna say he's a dick.
Yeah, I mean he's a small. I mean I feel bad saying that because he's like, when he first came out, he was like really small. Actually, he was like a 10-year-old.
And he was still, and he beat up his dad.
Yeah.
Which is sad, but that's the way it goes.
But yeah, so Damian's the most lethal.
Yeah.
Nightwing is the most stable and the most earning of the cowl, and that's something that Batman has said before, that if he ever went down, that Dick Grayson would actually take that. He would want the cowl to go to him to take on the Batman persona.
That's excellent.
Jason Todd, I don't know, maybe Jason Todd's the most lethal though, if you think about it, because he still kills people.
He does, but I feel like with Jason Todd, it's like, oh, I don't know, maybe that is arguable, because Damian would kill someone if they're doing wrong, or if they're getting in his way, but Jason Todd would do the same exact thing without mercy.
Yeah.
So it's like, now it's just a decision of who's more lethal, the 10-year-old or Jason Todd.
So Jason Todd's a very outlaw kind of Batman character, and I feel like Damian is actually like deeply like an assassin
at heart.
Yeah, he's just not. I don't. Like,
he's
you
not
guys need to stop
material.
writing him. Like, he's a very unlikable. I can't.
There's nothing redeemable about him. It's just like
there's
every time you
not
think
much.
you get a little bit further, they cut it out.
Yeah, and they've been really recently they've been really appealing to that whole childlike character of him because he is a child still.
Even Injustice Gods Among Us did that too. They made him turn against Batman at the final hour.
Yeah. Well, out of all the Robins, they say that Tim Drake is the most intelligent because he's the better detective. He's the best detective out of all three Robins. His detective skills rivals Batman's. Just because he's just so smart. He really is so smart. And so that's what's made him probably the best Robin.
Speaking of, if not to keep dwelling on Batman, but like, well, first let me say, like, do you think with him getting all these Robins, with all the Robins that he's ever gotten, or anyone that's joined the Bat family, do you think it was justified though?
No.
None of it was morally justified.
No. You're Robin. So I guess we all know that Robin was created in the 40s so that kids would appeal to Batman also, because they'll be like, oh, he has a young ward, and you know, Batman and Robin chill together and they fight crime together, and so more kids will pick up the books. But if you think about it now, there is literally no basis. Like, you're the greatest detective.
Yeah.
You know that your life was destroyed when your parents died. Like, Batman is probably one of the few very objective characters in the DC universe, and you thought that raising children to be crime fighters was a great idea?
Yeah, that is questionable.
You were barely raised yourself, Batman. Like, Alfred raised you because your parents got capped at 10 years old. Like, no!
There's a caption.
It's not.
There's a caption of a picture of Alfred loading a shotgun that he was really about to, if Bruce ever went down, or Batman ever went down, that Alfred would go and have no problem just shooting them right where they stand. And someone made a comment saying, "Oh, it was Bruce who was holding Alfred back," and it says like, Bruce, Alfred no, and then Alfred starting chainsaw, Alfred yes.
Yeah, no, I mean there's a comic where I think when Bane broke Batman's back,
he took on
Bane. He shot him with a shotgun.
Yes.
He's like, get out of my house, bruh.
Yo.
Like, yeah, he chased out with a shotgun.
Peasant.
Shotgun master race.
To switch to the other side of the spectrum,
No.
Oh, come on. Not even a pity laugh. Okay. Well, to the other side of the comic world, to Marvel, there was one that was brought to my attention when I was actually looking into my list. Spider-Man, and I'm referring to the Amazing Spider-Man number 544. Or what was the name of it called? Like, what was the art called?
What is it?
One More Day.
One More Day.
And for those of you who are not up to your Amazing Spider-Man history, or the ones who do know what I'm about to talk about, then, you know, kudos to you guys. So in this one has been talked about as like the worst Spider-Man arc that's ever been written. It was poorly written. It was awful, and the decision in the end was just terrible. So basically, Aunt May gets shot and is dying from a gunshot wound, and Spider-Man literally goes to Doc Ock. He goes to Doc Connors. He goes to pretty much villain and hero alike. He even goes to Doctor Strange, goes back in time to see if he can fix it without Strange's permission. Comes back, almost dies from doing that. Strange heals him and sends him on his way. There's nothing that can save him, so he makes a deal with Mephisto. Am I saying that right? Mephisto?
Yep, Mephisto.
And which, in that decision, his decision to do it was based on an option. You can you can have your Aunt May back, healthy and good to go and everything, but I want your wife. And I don't mean like I want your wife as a slave or nothing. Like, no, he wanted to be married to Mary Jane and have his son as well. Because the son was not born yet, but they're saying the baby, I say son, like I know what the gender is already, but the child was unborn, and he just wanted that life taken from him. So the thing is, his choice was he agreed to it. And I don't agree with that. Because their whole life gets swapped out. They never have the relationship at all. They're not even friends or nothing. It turns out that I found out after doing a little bit more digging that Mary Jane actually asked Mephisto, I'll agree to this as well if you promise to give him a shot at happiness somewhere in his life. And he agreed to it, and thus Mary Jane doesn't know him. Their life was non-existent, but Aunt May is fine. My problem with this decision is that you loved your Aunt May that much. You're about to start a family. You are Spider-Man, and you just started a family. This is after the Civil War, so people already know who your identity is. So I guess the argument can be made, I don't want my family in danger because they know who my identity is. But at the same time, it's like, you would have been fine. Like, S.H.I.E.L.D. probably would have protected your family.
It would have made for great writing. Jesus. Like, honestly. Especially with a baby in hand. I don't know.
Oh my god.
It would have been so much interesting. It would have been so interesting. They could have included, God dang it. What's her name?
What's her... Gwen Stacy?
No,
Are you talking about a love interest or a friend?
Like, there's a hypothetical future where Peter Parker is married to Mary Jane and he has a daughter and she has spider powers.
Mayday Parker.
Yeah, I mean, you could have gotten into that. Like, that would have been interesting.
They do bring that up too, because they talk about that as an alternate timeline, and it's like this is. But first off, it's a dumb decision. I don't like how it was written, and I even looked into the comic itself, and I was like, wow, this is really bad. And I'm like, I'm sorry if and I'm a Spider-Man fan. I'm not as much as an Iron Man fan, but he's my second choice.
Yeah, it's
just disappointing.
Yeah. You know what was a dumb decision?
What's that?
Voldemort making Harry a freaking Horcrux.
And now we're back to Harry Potter. I knew it was coming around. It had to. I knew you had to have some kind of opinion on this.
You're so stupid. Not you, I'm talking...
Oh, I was like, geez, like, I didn't make you watch the movies.
You're the worst villain ever. Harry straight let himself get clapped, and you killed yourself, bruh. You left yourself wide freaking open.
And Dumbledore just sent your ass back to come alive once more, to walk the earth like the second coming of Jesus. and he straight up. And honestly, if Harry knew he had that in his pocket the whole time, I guarantee he probably could have just slit his throat and said, Dumbledore, okay, send me back. I mean, honestly though, like, why in the world would you think that's a good idea to curse your arch nemesis? Like, you think he's that self-centered? He wouldn't have offed himself?
I mean, it's just like, the whole thing is dumb. He makes Harry a Horcrux.
Yeah.
Right? Harry has destroyed all the other Horcruxes.
Right.
Minus the snake.
Which, thanks to Neville, I guess
the real hero of that
the real man of...
If you guys think Neville Longbottom is the hero of Harry Potter, I agree with you, and I love you all. Because he is. I know that's a thing going around.
Put that in the comments section below. Do you think Neville was the real hero of Harry Potter?
Yes, he was. So without question. So, like, we just won't buy Neville Longbottom books. Like, that's.
I mean, no one wants to have the book Longbottom.
But yeah, no. So you're an evil villain. You've extended your life by putting parts of your soul onto different things.
Yeah.
Your nemesis has clapped all of them. Right? And so your last bit is like, I'm going to kill my nemesis. What? Like, excuse me?
Like, I'm gonna kill Harry Potter, but in doing so, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
I guess
Mr. Tom Riddle, do better.
I think he assumed because he had Death's wand that he was immortal.
No, he's an idiot.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
He's just straight up bald-headed, no-nose moron.
Then Harry Potter You know what's a good decision, though?
What's that?
Harry Potter breaking the Death's Hand wand or whatever.
Yeah, because it was like an OP wand.
Yeah, like that was...
There was no need to have that.
You know what's so stupid about that entire series?
What's that?
No one gets killed. No one shoots to kill. It's always these, like, other than Voldemort, everyone just does a stupid...
Yeah, I mean... Oh, that's right, they paralyzed them mostly.
Yeah, they always paralyzed you, or they, like, traded with you. Like,
Actually,
dueling.
Neville's group at the bridge. They blew the bridge and they sent all those werewolves and bad soul, like, Death Eaters down to the rocks below. You don't think they survived? None of us thought they survived. They're dead.
Neville's got a kill count on him, boy.
He's got a massive kill count.
Yeah, Neville, you know your own story.
Harry Potter, 1. Neville, 5,000.
0.
Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, so that's great.
I've got one from a video game.
What you got?
From The Force Unleashed.
You know, we don't talk about that game anymore.
We don't, but the decision in it, the fact that they offered decisions in it were quite interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
even though I know it was never approved by George, and therefore it's not a canon game, and I'll stick by that too. Even I'll acknowledge.
Yeah.
But for the time that we got and played the game, you know, it was fun to a degree. And seeing Starkiller, and I'm not going to dignify him with his name, so don't ask. Starkiller was given a choice at the very end of the game, if you remember. It was either save Coda from being shocked by the Emperor, or kill Vader for revenge for betraying you so many times. Technically twice, but the first time should have been enough.
You know, that's a legitimate question, because, like, I feel like you kill Vader, you do hinder the Empire a lot.
You do.
By saving her, but I feel like the emotional decision there, I'll give leeway to this. A lot of Star Wars deals with a lot of emotional decision making, which is
why it's a good series in my opinion, because of that reasoning.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously saving Coda for the sake of the story is the better decision, and because then there's like Vader lives as canon. So hypothetically, this game would have fit in the middle of the canon. And obviously, the rest of Star Wars would have proceeded.
Yeah,
because Vader lived.
But it boils down to, like, it does give you, like, the chance to make that decision. It does give you an appropriate ending. If you save Coda, you die.
Yeah,
you're dead, and your friends go off and they're alive, and the rebellion starts no matter what. So there's that. If you kill Vader, your guy thinks it's a great idea, because then you see your friends get killed because the Emperor brings the ship down, explodes it, pisses you off even more so after you've just killed Vader.
Yeah.
And then you try to raise your hand to the Emperor, you don't even kill him, and he turns you into a mechanical Sith Lord just to replace Vader.
Which looks cool, though.
Oh my god, it looks badass.
Yeah, he looks so cool.
Absolutely. That without a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, he looks so freaking cool.
But in that decision, like, focusing on one, like, killing Vader, is it justified for him to take his personal emotions for someone who's betrayed him, technically the man who trained and raised him to be who he is?
Tony Stark did it. He took his personal emotions.
I mean,
see, pretty hot to defend him there. No, I mean...
Yeah, but when we're talking Star Wars, I go from a very Sith point of view, and I think your personal decision should absolutely not run your life, but I think it should have a very high impact on what your decision is.
I probably would have killed him. I'm not even gonna lie.
I mean, really?
I would have stabbed that boy.
You don't think someone out there was already ready to start the rebellion regardless? Do you think Coda would have even been a factor? Like, oh, let's save Coda because he was a nice... No, Coda was a drunken dickhead.
Yeah, that's true, and blind.
And pompous. No, he became blind only after the first battle with him.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So yeah, at that time he was blind.
Yeah.
And he was drunk.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And he gave up on everything. But it's like, oh, I have my own personal militia because I don't think clone troopers were a good idea. It's like, of course you do. Which, granted, it saved his life in the end. But come on, that's like let's have a character who didn't have clones because he didn't trust them. It's like, well, when you already know the story, duh. That kind of is what it is. I think it was. I think either decision is justified, but I think killing Vader is more morally justified than saving Coda.
Yeah. Speaking on Star Wars,
Yeah.
Luke trying to kill Kylo.
Oh Lord, we don't talk about that movie.
Hey, this movie is great. If you got a problem with it, fight me.
What, The Last Jedi?
Yeah, not you. I'm talking about other people.
I think it's a garbage movie.
You don't like The Last Jedi now?
I've never liked The Last Jedi.
What are you talking about? We came out of The Last Jedi, we were like, oh, that was good, and then... I mean, there are issues.
Here's the
I
thing.
like The Last Jedi a lot.
Here's the thing. It would be wrong to say... I'd be hypocritical if I said, like, I hated the entire thing and there's no redeeming qualities in it. My argument to that is, if you got rid... And I have no problem with the actress, but if you got rid of the character Rose and you actually had a definitive mission that doesn't say gambling and rich people are bad and child labor is bad... Like, if you don't try to have a PSA in the middle of a Star Wars movie, then fine.
But you know, I started looking at that in a different light.
How? How can you look at that in a different light? It completely distracts. It distracts. Huh?
I think it was interesting to show you because there's two things going on. They said that, like that underground, that rich underground.
Yeah.
That there were people that were supplying the First Order and the Resistance.
Yeah, they were supplying both sides.
Yeah, I just think it was interesting to show. Like, it was an interest. I think. What was that scene dragged out? Yes, but you cannot tarnish. You can't tarnish that sequence. I mean, that movie for that sequence.
It shows that no matter who's fighting the war, everyone's bad because everyone's fighting for the. In the end, it's the rich people that are benefiting from it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even just that. Well, I guess that whole thing too. No, I mean, that's not what I'm talking about either. I like the fact that it just shows, like, it just opened up your eyes. You spend so much of Star Wars like you're either operating the light side or on the dark side. With the exception of a couple characters like Boba Fett.
But we don't talk about the morally gray side where it's
I just think it was interesting to be like, wait, this world is not black and white as we think. I thought that was interesting. I thought it was an interesting concept to show like that their world is just as muddy.
Yeah, as ours.
Yeah, and so I just thought that was an interesting thing.
No, I mean, the limousine, the space limousine, I would say, it was cool because, I'll give you that. I'll give you that because it was cool to see, like, oh, this guy manufactures TIE fighters. Oh, what else is this? And you see an X-Wing pop up.
Yeah.
But with knowing that, though, you're right. I think that part was okay. That really, tips the hat at, there's more to the galaxy than just your light side, dark side, and that's reasonable. My only complaint with the movie was you dragged out a scene too long. You tried to insert Rose too much as a character when nobody needed her. Like, we're still on the fact that from the last movie that you're stuck on Rey, Kylo, and Finn. We didn't need to know, like, purple-haired woman. Like, I don't have a problem with her, but she came out of nowhere, and Leia was like, okay, she's my co-admiral, and it's like, who are you? Where did you come from?
But I mean, like, if you're introducing, I feel like also to the same extent, if you're introducing new characters, they're just gonna come out of nowhere. I mean, Lando Calrissian.
But Lando was there's a history with Lando because when Han says, "I know a guy there," and that was because they had a history even before knowing the history. There's an implied history with Laura Dern. But there's not enough.
Her character. There wasn't enough. We knew nothing about Lando until we saw Billy D. Williams' sweet.
But you knew enough to be like
freaking curly fro. I mean, like.
Yeah, but like when you saw Han, like, I know a guy. Talk to Leia and Chewie knows who he is. He's like, I know this guy. So there's a history of Han, so he can't be all bad. He's either a smuggler, a scumbag, or somebody important that Han knows a favorite.
I just think that people hate the inclusiveness of the intentional inclusiveness of that movie. Yeah, it was heavy-handed, 100%. But
going back to your original decision making on it,
right? Yeah,
because we'll discuss the movie at a different time. Sorry, went too far into it as is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, getting into that, I do like the bitter Luke.
The bitter Luke was nice. It was a nice change.
I like bitter Luke
because he saw the truth.
Yeah, I like better Luke. Anybody who wants to fight me on that, fight me.
Like, Luke would have never...
Square up.
Square up.
Bro, team, square up, bro.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding.
Start fighting. You have no idea who you're fighting.
I know, right?
No, he saw the truth, and that was a big deal. And
I kind of... I thought it was interesting to see Luke kind of, like, give up on Kylo Ren. Like he's like, I'm just gonna have to chop him while he's sleeping, right? But, like, at the same time, that's not as... Like, if you think about, like, the weight of that decision, you kind of made Kylo Ren, dude. Like, you went into his room to try and kill him.
No, he without a doubt made Kylo Ren.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there was, like, the stirrings of the dark side with
But
Snoke.
what darkness did you see in Kylo that was there that you didn't see in your father, who literally killed children?
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe
Kylo struggled with killing.
Kylo has.
Kylo has struggled killing his mom.
But that's different. I feel like because that's that personal tie.
That's fair.
I feel like I don't know. We haven't been introduced to that, but I wonder if Kylo has killed
the first movie,
children.
The very first movie, Kylo could have killed all the villagers.
But he was just walking around slicing people.
But it was just like to get to the main guy. But after that, he could have just
because it's an objective. He did tell him to burn the whole village.
Oh, that's right, he did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he did it. Like,
okay, so he's trying to be a bad guy.
Yeah, he's pretty bad. Like, but yeah, so I think that was an issue. That was probably on Luke's part. That probably wasn't smart. Let me just go chop him in the middle of the night, and then you made him. Oops.
So you think it was one of those false visions that he has? It's like, I had a vision, we did this, but
I don't know.
In return, it's like, do you remember the old show on Disney Channel, That's So Raven?
Yeah.
She'd have a vision, and then the vision she turns out to further the vision, even though she was trying to stop
inserting herself in the issue.
Yeah. So it's like maybe Luke had one of those where it's like, I foresaw great darkness, and I need to stop it now, but because he tried to stop it, he in turn created the problem. Which, if you look at it that way, it's not as bad of his story-wise. I'm not saying no, it's still a terrible decision. You're trying to kill your nephew. I mean, your best friend and your sister's son. You just straight up try to kill him.
Ooh.
That does not look good at the family reunion.
Whoops. It's like, oh, hey, where's Ben? How is he doing at school?
Well,
Ben, unfortunate lightsaber accident during training. He decapitated himself.
It's like he decapitated himself. How did he do that? It's like, lightsabers very unstable.
Whoops. You know, I mean,
you got into a gang, started calling themselves the Knights of Ren. Don't know where that came from.
Killed a bunch of children.
Oh, it was awful. So I guess that's karma.
so here's the two big ones. Not big ones, but like the ones that were buzzed recently.
Okay.
Star-Lord punching Thanos in the face, and then Thor also stabbing Thanos in the chest rather than the head.
So, Star-Lord punched him in the face? I thought he kicked him.
No, he was sleeping. He was hitting him with his gun.
Oh, that decision. Okay.
Yeah.
Had a refresher. And yes, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Star-Lord's an idiot.
And Star-Lord's an idiot, so is Tony Stark.
Okay, you are encroaching. And I know what my next person on the list is gonna be, and I'm gonna call you out on it too.
Just drop it.
No, we're gonna talk about this one first. He was an idiot for not doing so. He was an idiot.
Emotional decision making, though.
It was emotional decision making.
Was it?
But it was over his girlfriend, and it was awful. It was dumb. You should not have done that.
If anybody has clapped Zoe Saldana, and it was Star-Lord's clapping green Zoe Saldana.
The fact that she let him clap her at all shows that she's got a bad decision in men. But that's me.
That's my second favorite character in that series. Shut up, Star-Lord's.
Yeah, your second favorite. Just you could have ended the series right there, and Tony wouldn't have died. But your guy had to be all, "Oh, my girlfriend is dead."
Chris Pratt, if you listen to this, will you come visit South Carolina and go to church with me? That'd be super dope. All right, but
Robert Downey Jr., would you mind paying me a visit and we can go hang out or something like that'd be dope. Just saying. See,
yeah.
if you give Chris Pratt, then
yeah, that'd be awesome. Actually,
it'd really be cool. Honestly,
yeah.
I'm trying to make you fun of you before I get all decisive. So there's that. That's all I have to say on that.
Thor chopping Thanos in the chest.
I think it was...
I feel like obviously that was an emotional decision because he wanted to speak words of vengeance to Thanos over Loki dying, which I feel.
Oh, see.
Yeah, I remember because he said like...
Do you think he could have aimed for the head if he wanted to?
Yeah.
You really think he could have gotten
I thought, yeah.
So it was intentional to get to the chest. He just wanted to have the last word.
Yeah. He should have cut off his arm. I mean, you should have done any of that.
I mean, really, if you cut off his arm, that would have been... Actually, yeah, he could have just cut off the arm and still talk shit to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. Now I blame Thor for everything.
Exactly. So here's my thing.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's going through some serious distress, right?
Right.
So, like, Thor, I mean, if you think about Peter, he literally spends the first half of that movie trying to protect homegirl, you know, and all that stuff, and then he finds out she dies because they've been, like, slowly growing a relationship.
Right.
That's heartbreaking. Thor is emotionally upset because his brother, who cheated him on so many occasions, right, dies. And yeah, so I mean, like, it's almost equal, but I mean, in reality, like, I wouldn't have been that upset if my brother had been betraying me that much. But I guess also that, like, since I do have a brother, if my brother did die, I would probably, I guess I would be upset. I mean, I would be out for blood, to that extent.
You sound very casual about that. It's like, yeah, I'd probably have a problem with it.
Yeah. But yeah, with that, yeah, like, I mean,
that's
you probably should have aimed for the arm.
I mean, at least the arm. With the arm, you could have talked more shit. With the head, you could have ended a lot.
Yeah, because
quicker.
if you think about it, you could have, like, chopped his arm. He'd been like, ugh.
Thor was being petty.
Talk your nonsense. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I think Thor ultimately was the one who really screwed up.
I believe that.
Because I feel like Star-Lord took the heavier emotional beating because of that close relationship. Right? And Star-Lord's had a lot lost. Like, everyone just forgets that, but, like, Star-Lord found out that his real... Like, because if you think about the timeline, right?
Yeah.
Star-Lord found out that his real dad...
is a pimp.
Yeah, Ego, the Living Planet. And he, like, was evil. His stepdad, if you will, dies in that movie.
Yeah.
His mom died of cancer.
Yeah.
He's literally spent his entire life in space because he was, you know, literally...
taken out during the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, it was 80.
Was it 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But yeah, he's literally picked up as a kid, you know, in the 80s, watching his mom die. Like, he's had a lot of emotional weight.
That's true.
And he kind of deflects with humor. And so then he finally gets a good thing going. He's trying to be a good guy. They're making money as the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, he's got a relationship with Gamora. And then, like, her, like, suck-ass dad kills her.
Yeah, that's pretty awful.
Like that, but then, right, and so that sucks. But then you compare, like, Thor. Yeah, Asgard just got taken over. Hela came back and ruined stuff.
Yeah.
You lose your eye, but you also find your inner power. Right, and then on the ship, you know, like, stuff gets wrecked. And the brother who's betrayed you for the entire length of your MCU, like, relevance, like, dies.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, I understand the emotional weight behind that, but I can understand Star-Lord punching Thanos in the face more easily than I see, like, Thor getting really petty when literally dude is carrying a god weapon.
So I guess in between the two, the better decision of both of them was probably Star-Lord.
I wouldn't say the better decision, but the more understandable decision.
Okay. I mean,
but they're both terrible. Like, they're 100% both trash decisions. You're both retarded. But I love you both.
So
I mean, Thor 3 is amazing.
So the one I wanted to bring up to you, because you keep trashing Iron Man at every second that you get a moment. Let's talk about your favorite character of all time, Boba freaking Fett. And let's go to Return of the Jedi, when this man, Mr. feared throughout the galaxy as the bounty hunter who incinerates people, who always gets the stuff, who literally made an Imperial admiral frightened for his life after he came back to remake a name for himself. But the only reason why, tell me, why did he have to remake a name for himself? Oh, that's right, because he fell into a Sarlacc pit because he couldn't take out one Jedi. One Jedi. His father took out one, had no problem with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. He was drinking on the bar because he thought that would be a great idea to start drinking because obviously
he thought he won. Does drunk you make good decisions?
There is not a drunk me. That's the thing.
Okay, do drunk people make great decisions?
It depends on the person.
No. No, it doesn't. Drunk people don't make good decisions. Drunk Boba Fett, I forgive you.
No,
George Lucas, I don't forgive you for killing him off, and now we have this giant Schrodinger's Boba Fett thing going on.
He literally got drunk while there was a Jedi involved. His father got killed by a Jedi. His father killed a Jedi. He knows what Jedi are from being a kid. You're gonna tell me that he was gonna get drunk and lay back because he thought the Jedi was done for?
Yeah, he was clapping that alien chick.
That is not an excuse. Your character made a poor ass decision.
Okay, so
around a powerful being.
My character made a poor ass decision around yeah.
Yes.
But at least my character's poor decision doesn't cost the world trouble all of the time.
You know what? He made up for it in the end.
Let's not get emotional here.
No.
We're not getting emotional.
No, if we're gonna bring him up on that part for all the trouble that he may have caused the world.
May have.
No.
Tony Stark, your snap was justified. I honor your snap.
Exactly. His snap
was probably the best thing that happened for the MCU.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
The world is now a safer place.
I'm sorry the writers couldn't figure out how to make Cap or Bucky make bad decisions. Oh wait. They did all the time. And I think they're both terrible characters. That's beside the point.
Shut up. Captain America's great.
No, he's not.
He finally got to clap.
He's a
Carter.
He's a basic Superman without powers. He's a super soldier, American way.
Yeah.
He's garbage.
I can do this all day.
He throws a disc.
Okay, well, Iron Man's superpower is money.
So is Batman.
No, but
you
take the armor off of Tony Stark, and you take the armor off of Bruce Wayne.
He knows how to fight.
Not Batman level fight. Man literally learned every martial art.
And Captain America showed Tony in the comics how to do hand to hand.
Okay,
and
he also
enough. And he also knows. And Tony knows
it's not enough.
He knows a little bit of.
I know, yeah. Then Batman. Did you piss off? No, Batman.
It's one of those. It's
Batman
actually
will destroy him.
It's one of those things where it's like he wouldn't be, even if he didn't have the suit, he'd have some kind of device.
He would beat the crap out of him.
It's like when Steve said you wouldn't be the guy to lay on the wire for your guys to crawl over. No, I would just cut the wire. There's a smarter decision. It's like if I'm gonna fight a guy who knows how to hand-to-hand combat and I don't have my suit of armor, I'm gonna have a device ready to stop him.
Okay, that's not the point. We're talking about you remove the armor from the character,
and he would find another way.
Yeah, it would be called get the shit beat out of him. The only thing he's seeing is stars. Like, that's the only thing he's finding.
Of course, then you're gonna get somebody else that jumps into the conversation and be like, they're both superheroes and they're not gonna fight each other because they're too good.
Yeah, shut up.
Shut up. No one asked you.
I want my
argument.
Let's see what else I got. List-wise, every single time Daredevil enters a stairway.
Is that really a thing? Is that a trope?
Yeah, so you haven't seen it, but in the Daredevil series, they have these amazing choreographed fights, and one of the biggest things are like Daredevil has a lot of like these really amazing one-shot, like all done in one take stairway fights.
Yeah.
Because honestly, there's no action in any of the MCU that tops the Daredevil stuff.
That's fair.
No one has done it. I want to see Shang-Chi bring it up, bring the heat. But seriously, but like, it just becomes such a trope that every time like he enters any kind of confined space, there all of a sudden is like a massive fight that he has to deal with, and it's amazing. But he's getting the crap, like he's getting beat up and stuff. So you should probably stop. You know what, Daredevil, I know you're blind, but you should probably stop driving, like walking downstairs.
I'm more impressed that he's a blind man climbing and going downstairs. Let alone fighting at him, so... I've got two. I've got two of them that go into the same category.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring it into anime for a second.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna bring up Deku and Bakugo.
Deku! Oh my god, he's such a dick.
Getting those two, and by the way, the characters that we're talking from, if you don't know this, is from My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We forgive you.
Please don't sue us.
No, so on Deku's end, his choice to continuously use his quirk, knowing he's pushing himself, that could possibly kill him.
I feel like it's gotta happen. What Deku needs to do is use his quirk and knock the shit out of Bakugo.
But is it? Well, I agree with that too. Well, he tried.
Yeah, I mean that was savage.
It was savage, and the thing,
Sorry.
what was nice is there was some character development at the end of there, where it was like, so, how'd you like my shoot style? And Deku was like, or not Deku, but Bakugo was just like, it was good, but you need to work on this. You're too slow in this area.
Yeah, I mean, I like how I want to see the next season. I want to see if they start
Bonding a little bit more.
bonding.
I mean, he's still an asshole, and that's not going to change. But maybe he'll go a little bit more tolerant of Deku for that. And I don't know. With that, I'm just like, does he really need to keep pushing himself? Like, even if he goes to his leg, what if he pushes his legs too far? Which anyone who's seen the manga knows that there's more to his quirk than meets the eye.
Right? Don't tell me because
I'm not gonna say nothing. No one's spoiling nothing. You've read it, you know. But did you see something amazing?
Yeah, guys. For those of you who don't know, I'm a collector, and McFarlane has been dropping anime stuff and new stuff, and so I just pre-ordered my freaking McFarlane Scorpion, and the one thing I've been wanting to pre-order really bad is he got the license for My Hero. So he's got a Shigaraki, an All Might, a Midoriya, and a Bakugo coming out.
Ooh.
And this Midoriya figure is in the shoot style, and I want it so bad.
See, I think shoot style really works for him. His one costume change that I know a lot of people probably like it, that I really wish they change, is his hood. I really wish they switched the hood.
Yeah, well,
the metal rebreather that he has, I'm fine with that. To emulate All Might's smile, like, I'm cool with that because it looks cool.
but yeah, his hair, the thing that's supposed to look like his hair.
Yeah,
looks like bunny
you
ears.
literally look like Green Donkey Boy.
Oh no!
Yeah, it troubles me when I see
no.
that. But that, I mean, with his decision to use his quirk over and over again, you know, to the extreme. Not just saying like limited. I mean, like when he goes full on.
Yeah, when he starts
above.
pushing. I mean, I think there's moments where he has to.
I mean, it's
like
gonna
when
take
he
forever
was
to heal.
when he was doing but there is the whole thing where he had to fight that muscle dude. Like,
Yeah.
that was necessary. But I mean, yeah, I do feel you. I feel like there's like a lot of
Like he should take into consideration that, look, you get one shot to go full power, and if you do, you're gonna screw yourself up. But know that if you do this, like, you're gonna be useless to everyone else. So you gotta make it count.
yeah.
But at the same time though, like when you go to the other side to Bakugo, like Bakugo is supposed to be a hero. He's supposed, from day one, like when he gets his quirk to getting into UA, he's supposed to be that guy. And the problem with Bakugo for me is, like, I think you're too... I'm going to say, you're too evil to be a hero.
Yeah.
He got kidnapped by villains, and we all thought he was going to just join him and be done with the hero thing because he's such an asshole to everybody. But no, such is not the case. He doesn't like the villains. He wants to beat up the villains. But at the same time, it's like, you treat everyone like garbage. You're like Endeavor's stepson. That
Yeah.
you both share that demeanor of, I don't care about you as long as I'm famous.
Yeah.
But I know it's not really much of a decision, but I think he chooses to be this way.
Yeah, no, I mean, he does. He's kind of, I mean, he's just really...
And I know that's probably a weak position to take, but I mean, honestly, like, I think he could do better if he would just lay off a little bit.
Yeah, he... does he not realize that no one else likes him? Like, I don't understand.
The thing is, he doesn't care.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
But at the same time, it's like, you're going to keep failing your hero's license, and you're going to keep failing along the way if you don't trust other people. And by the way, this doesn't go in our list category, but I will say this: I am sick of seeing people put him in
Uraka?
In Yuraraka.
Oh
together.
no! Yeah, I hate that.
It bothers me so much.
So
That's another subject we're gonna talk about here. Is
stupid relationship ship.
Yeah, ship wars. We're gonna discuss that just because I really want to get into that because there's so many problems with that. Speaking of a ship war that I'm only gonna bring up just because this is a choice by the writer and it's outside of the realm of characters. Whoever wrote in Bleach that Ichigo and Orihime should get together is stupid. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call you out on it. I don't care if you're the main writer for Bleach and I loved your work and I loved everything you've done with Bleach. I did not like that. Because you know what? Who gave Ichigo his powers? Rukia. Who did he go and save? Rukia. Who did he learn Bankai for to save her? Rukia. He learned it from different people, but my point is, like, he went above and beyond. And the thing is, all they did for Orihime is she gets captured and now Ichigo has to go save her. All you did was copy-paste the storyline to go save another one of your friends, but at what cost? You know? It's like, what was the point? It's like, Rukia has much more... She lived in your closet. She went to school with you. She has that chemistry of, like, bad-mouthing one another. And you set each of those characters up with someone from their past. You went with, oh, I have a past with this character, and that's what makes our relationship, versus having the story say this makes a better relationship because we're actually in it together. But that's my stance on that.
Yeah. God, yeah. I feel like they spent so much time building it up. It's just... that was for naught.
It wasn't.
That was a ship that should have happened. And I don't know. Let's get into final thoughts.
Yeah, final thoughts on.
Final choices. Here's your give us what's your best suck character choice that you has been bothering you.
The worst. Oh god, let's see. The worst character choice that I've ever seen was. Oh, you know what? I know it's at the top of my list, and it's gonna surpass anything that comes up in my book ever again.
Okay.
The decision, and I'm gonna say it's outside character. I should say a character, but I'm gonna blame the character and the writer at the same time because it goes hand in hand.
Uh-huh.
It's Iden Versio from Battlefront 2, the EA game.
Yep, that's bad.
If you don't know, and I'm going to spoil it because I honestly, you guys are going to, whether you haven't played it or not, it's not my problem. I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Iden is the member of the elite special forces of the Empire. The Empire who sends troopers into battle to do what the Empire bids it, what the Emperor bids them to do. And to be part of Special Forces, that means you've got to be ruthless. You are the top-notch killers. You have the top-of-the-line machine and weaponry and gadgets. And you're going to tell me that after one of your guys meets Luke Skywalker, doesn't get killed by him because you become friends with him, even though you're apprehensive at first, but you initially become friends with him. And then after you find out that the planet that you grew up on or something is about to get incinerated because it turns out like they were rebel sympathizers, it's like, okay, you should be above that.
Still emotional decision making though.
But your emotional status, if you're going to be in the special forces, that means you've surpassed what it takes to be a normal stormtrooper. Finn, I know is a first order one, but he was a stormtrooper, and
he was like taken from age. Like,
he was indoctrinated improperly. It's like he didn't finish his indoctrination to be part of like the regular troopers.
Is that true?
It is true, because even though because the whole thing about the First Order is that they took children from their families and grew them into stormtroopers, kind of like how they did with clones, except instead of growing them, they just took them. Well, Finn, like, it's like his indoctrination was not enough. They didn't go far enough with them, and that's why
he had all those doubts.
He had doubts, and he second-guessed himself.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool, though. I like that reasoning.
So, with Iden, I'm thinking, if you're this stormtrooper, that means you've either been indoctrinated by the Empire enough, or you know enough to hate the rebels, that you would not just turncoat and join them because you don't like what the Emperor's final plan was because he's dead. Like, to me, that's a garbage storytelling. If you're going to be an Imperial Special Forces, you die as an Imperial Special Force. You die as a stormtrooper. You live with the Empire, you die with the Empire. And I'm sorry, if you switch sides like that, you're a turncoat bastard, and I think you should be shot for it.
Well then.
Yeah. That's mine. And it's a character and a writer issue that I have. So, what's yours?
Whoever decided to end Soul Eater the way they did. That's my worst character decision ever, and not because the character themselves made the decision, but whoever wrote that.
It was so bad.
Bravery.
You went through this whole season.
Like
season after season of getting stronger and going down all those routes and episodes and ups and downs, turnarounds, perfecting your witchblade and all that, like your resonance, like you're getting all strong and stuff, and it's not enough
to killed the Kishin with
bravery.
And they kept throwing that word like every single time something was happening, it would just blow up in your face. And like, you know what I mean? Like they're just brave. Oh my god.
It's like we have one thing the Kishin doesn't have. Bravery! Punch! And it's like, you're not Kamina. You don't just come in and scream manly pride and kick somebody.
Kamina, no! I'm still upset. Alright, well, I think we should do a mad dash. We're not gonna like hit and discuss it, but I think we should just go through some topics real quick. Like let's just
quick. Was it morally justified? Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, even if it's not even that deep, I mean, I don't think we can.
That's fair.
Every decision Gon makes from Hunter x Hunter because he's an idiot.
Fair.
Stas from Blood Lad thinking that his human outfit was 100% fire. Which you have not seen, but you'll understand that reference when you...
I'll have to take a look at it.
It's so funny. The Avengers doubting Ant-Man in Endgame. Because that boy brought up a time heist. And then that boy smacked that freaking giant space whale into the ground like a savage.
Buenos.
And I think that's it for me. That's
all
it for
I
you?
had
Left over, yeah.
So I think the last couple ones that I had were the Dark Knight series where the Joker was involved. I think which one was that? I think that was
the Dark Knight.
That was just the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Or was it the Dark Knight Begins?
No, it was the Dark Knight.
It was just the Dark Knight.
It was Dark Knight.
Well, either way, the one where he's fighting Joker and he has to choose between Rachel and Harvey. I know Harvey convinces him to go for Rachel, and he has all intents and purposes of going to Rachel because he loves her. Mm-hmm. And he chooses Rachel,
but he finds
Dent instead because Joker switched him at the last second.
Yep.
And I was just like,
or he gave him the wrong addresses.
To me, I feel like the choice was like, you're either gonna save a guy that's gonna put people behind bars in the future, or a love interest that may or may not die in the future, which doesn't really matter now. But
I mean, so here's the thing. I think honestly saving Rachel would have been a good move, though.
Yeah.
Because Harvey did explode.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He did.
And he did, live. So, let's say Batman was intentionally going for Harvey Dent. I think the same situation would play out either way. If he had saved Rachel, who's morally better than both of them, remember?
We would have had a gender bent Two-Face.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
I wasn't thinking that. That would have been crazy, though. No, because Harvey was a little unstable anyway.
True.
Because he was getting desperate. I think if we would have saved Rachel, Dent would have died because he was the DA, and then Rachel would have become the DA, and she would have.
With her and Rachel both, or him and Rachel both going for the DA position?
Yeah, well, he was already a DA, and she was the assistant DA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that would have worked out, I think, better.
That's fair. So the other ones that I have were Goku from Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT,
Terrible
and Dragon Ball
father.
Super.
Yep.
Yeah, terrible father. You risked the whole universe so you can fight powerful people where you almost lost anyway, and the universe was almost erased, and that's your fault. It's on your head, Goku. And the fact that you can't raise a family for crap, and you had to rely on a freaking alien to raise your son.
Yeah.
So congratulations, you suck.
Piccolo weren't no deadbeat dad, no.
He was definitely no deadbeat dad, that's for sure. The other one I got is Darth Revan.
Yeah.
The fact that Revan, he chose to come back to the light side and support the Jedi even after he found out that they wiped his memory, and even though he was part of the dark side, and technically the dark side wiped his mind first to say, "All right, you're evil now, and you got to go back and conquer the galaxy."
Yeah, all that stuff.
Well, instead of like trying to turn Revan back naturally, the Jedi are like, "No, we're just gonna wipe your memory and make you a tool and weapon for us to use to go defeat Malik." And it's like, okay, well, that's a really crappy decision, and I would never support you after that.
So you're saying his decision to go back after being
it's wrong.
essentially
I
betrayed.
think I think it was dumb to do.
I think that was dumb. I also think him going one-on-one with the Super Emperor or whatever was retarded.
It's argued that he was powerful enough to stand against the Emperor. Like, it's like, I've learned the dark side now when I first left you, but now I'm back.
Evidently not, because he was like mind raped.
Well, that's true.
The first time.
The first time it was just like, hey,
raped.
Well, the first time it was like, I found the darkness, I'm going to go take it out, and Malik's going to come with me. But when they found it, it was stronger than he ever thought it would be. Because the man's been alive forever.
Yeah.
He's like immortal, but your character kills him in another game, but that's beside the point.
And I think, would you have one more?
Yeah, one more. No, two more actually. It was another Batman one. It's like, why don't you just kill the Joker? Like, I'm sorry. The man has done so much problem to you. And I know there's comics that have him killing the Joker, but...
Yeah.
Bro, I'm sorry. Your moral compass is nothing compared to that psychopath. So you just need to up and kill him. Like, there is no reason you should be leaving that man alive.
I literally think that since he hasn't, and I still stand for Batman's no kill rule. I just think someone else should do it. Just get Jason Todd.
Just get Jason Todd to do it. Yeah, Jason was willing to do it.
Yeah, we're done.
And he still stopped Jason. He was like, "You're gonna kill him, and how does that make you?" It's like, it's gonna make the world peaceful. And he's like, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
The other person I've got in the last one is Mace Windu, and I think I'm sorry, I don't care what he thought, and I know Star Wars Theory will have a whole explanation on this, but the man should have let up on Anakin a little bit. If anything, you should have helped the kid out more. If Qui-Gon saw it, and all the Masters felt it, and even Obi-Wan saw it, you were the only one that didn't come along. And by the way, I love you, Samuel L. Jackson. You're a great guy, great actor.
Say what again?
Say what again? No, we're not going into that. But like, he should have laid off of Anakin. He could have done much more for Anakin, being more of a supportive role instead of being like, I have an exclusive order and Jedi or the high tier.
They should have sent Jerry Coral, Jules Windu out to deal with
Jules
Emperor.
Windu.
Jules Windu to go handle the Emperor.
I hope everyone who listens to that gets that reference.
If you guys don't, it's Pulp Fiction. Please go watch it.
If you haven't,
to your life of service.
Come out of that rock you've been living under. Well, with that being said, and I know that was a long list, and thank you all for hanging in there and listening to all the decisions, even though our lightning round at the end. Once again, thank you so much for listening, and you can find us on the Broken Spectrum Twitter page, and you can even find us on Instagram at the Broken Spectrums with a Z on the end, as well as you can find us on WordPress on our website to find all of our episodes, both on YouTube, WordPress, and you'll even see them come up on on Twitter. I didn't think of what the media source was. I myself post on Twitter quite often now. I'm starting to get the feel for it, and you always see an update from me on a sneak preview of what the episode is coming up on and other updates. And Josh is handling our Instagram.
Very poorly.
At least he's honest.
Yeah. There's nothing I need to put. I haven't put up anything on it yet because I'm irresponsible. But I will start. But if you want to follow my personal Instagram, which I do occasionally post the things I'm driving and the stuff I'm building motorcycle wise and stuff like that. That is Discount Outlaw on Instagram. Straight up DISCONTOUTLAW, and hit me up on there. You can send me DMs and stuff like that. We can talk about arguments that you're gonna have with me, which is totally fine.
And as far as YouTube is concerned, I handle most of the comment section on both Twitter and YouTube. So if you drop us a comment, a like, a subscribe, or if you want to to have a conversation in there, I'm going to be usually pretty responsive when it comes to all outlets involving comment sections. So feel free to chat it up.
Yeah. So
anything else you want to add to that?
No, I guess not.
All right, then I guess that does it for all. We'll see. This episode will be released on Wednesday, and actually, sorry, it will be already Wednesday when they listen to it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Whoops.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, thank you all for listening to The Broken Spectrum. I'm Zach.
And I'm Josh. And I'm a motherfucking Rottweiler.